Good morning, LBC Radio. My name is Corey Rosen, and you are listening to the Story Podcast. And today I have on a super awesome guest, Miss Amber Nadine.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good. Amber Nadine is a recording and performing artist from Hummelstown, Pennsylvania. She considers herself mostly country pop, but tends to write a broad range from heartfelt piano ballads to bubbly pop tunes. Her newest and first self-produced EP, Lilac, is a multi-genre project that showcases her versatility from pop to country and back again. Amber, how you doing today?
I am fantastic. Thank you so much for having me on the show. It's an honor to be on the best local music podcast
Yeah.
of Central Pennsylvania. So, thank you. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you very much. And yeah, it's great to have you here. And so the question I like to ask all my guests first thing is, what got you into music in the first place?
Oh, what got me into music? That's kind of a hard pinpoint because I've been singing since before I could talk. At least that's what my parents say.
Mm.
My mom says I was born singing, but I've always loved music from the time I was very little. My dad built me a stage in the backyard, and he bought me a karaoke machine, and I was at every single pool party, like singing, like Hilary Duff songs and tons of Disney Channel artists' songs, and then somewhere along the line, I think in 2008 or 2009, whatever, it was one of those Christmases. My cousin, she gave me a copy of the Fearless album by Taylor Swift.
Mm.
And that was kind of like a turning point for me where I wanted to learn guitar. And I started to learn guitar on and off through my high school years and middle school years. And then it wasn't until I graduated from high school that I had my first heartbreak. My first relationship ended, and I didn't know how to cope with it. So I just started writing, and I haven't stopped since. So
So, and that was it in around 2010ish area?
no, I graduated from high school in 2015.
2015,
So
okay.
like 2009 was like when I started like delving into like maybe I should learn guitar, I don't know, like that sort of thing. I taught myself how to, play guitar via, YouTube tutorials and things like that. I kinda just was like, "I wanna learn Taylor Swift music," and nobody in the area would actually just teach me a song.
Right, they
So
would wanna teach you like technique and stuff, like all
yeah.
the boring stuff that no
Yeah.
one needs.
Yeah, and I was like, "I don't want this. I just wanna learn a Taylor Swift song. Can you just teach me a Taylor Swift song?" And the guitar teacher that I was going to, he was like, "No, you gotta learn this first." And I was like, "Okay, well, I quit." So, I just ended up going home and looking up on YouTube, how to play "Our Song" by Taylor Swift, and that was the first song that I ever learned how to play on guitar. So
That's awesome. So, when did you think you started, writing guitar or writing music for yourself
uh, during 2015,
during that breakup?
during that breakup because, it was only a 6-month relationship. It was like puppy love,
Right, at the
but
time, but it's like, "This is the end of my life."
yes, it was like the end of the world, and I was like, I didn't know how to deal with it. So, I think I wrote anywhere from, like, 60 to 100 songs during that.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a lot to say.
She's like,
Uh,
"This boy,
yeah.
this guy I'm gonna be the next Taylor Swift."
Yeah, like, this boy's gonna be sorry. But, no, so, not like, very few of them were good, by the way, let me
Oh,
just
yeah,
point
of
that out.
course. Yeah, right.
Um, but, when I started hearing about other artists in the area, I think Olivia Faribault was, like, one of the first
Mm.
ones that I heard about, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you mean I can actually do this for a career? Like, this is something that I can
Do?
do?" Like, no way. So, I started, like, following her, and, she was a huge inspiration for me locally as to what I could do locally, and I started, like, just driving around to local restaurants and coffee shops like, "Hey, can I play music here for you guys?" So, that was how I started transitioning into live music, and I would learn cover songs and play those, and, um but yeah, I feel like I kinda got off on a rabbit trail. I wanted to continue talking about the whole, like, recording of my and writing of my own songs. I ended up hearing about a recording studio, in Hershey that I went to, and I recorded, um, some of my music there as, like, a first trial run of an EP sorta thing. And I think I recorded about 5 songs and released that at, like in 2016. I think it was December of 2016. So that was, like, a year after I had started writing all of those
Those-
songs. I had picked 5 of them, like, "Okay, these are okay. Like, I can do this." Terrible. I listen to it now and I'm like, "What was I doing?" But it was a fun first start. So, yeah, I guess that's kind of the whole storyline, and then I just kinda kept going from there because relationships after that really, like, the highs I would write about, the lows I would write about, and, um, I'd never really stopped writing after that because that was my easiest way out
Mm.
of all of the emotions and coping with them.
So after that EP, did you do more of that, or
Yeah, I released that EP, and then with that same recording studio, I went back and I recorded a full-length album, but it was all acoustic. It was all just, like, me and my guitar or me and a piano or me and ukulele, because those are, like, the only 3 instruments that I can play, and I was like, "I can't afford to, like, hire people to come in and do this," and I didn't really know a lot of people in the area like I do now to be able to collaborate with. Um, so it was just, like, all me, just acoustic, and that was called, New Beginnings,
mm.
and it was just a lot of inspiring, uplifting messages of, like, leaving all of this in the past and moving forward sort of thing. But I haven't released anything since then, so I'm very excited because, I mean, I've released singles here and there, and I've worked with a lot of different producers since then, and it's all kind of been not really what I've wanted. It's been a lot of the producers trying to manipulate my music and my way of thinking into what they want,
Mm.
and not really me being able to put out the sounds that I want. So, I ended up getting to a point in 2021 where I was without a producer because I had been through a couple different producers at this point that were just not what I wanted, and I was like, "What do I do?" You know? Yeah, 'cause I felt like I was lost. I felt like there was, like, no other option for me to be able to do this, and I was like, "Am I only ever gonna be able to release my music on somebody else's terms and somebody through somebody else's way?" And, I came across someone by the name of Chris Bradley, who, she does a course called Produce Like a Boss, and I was like I started listening to her free, like, podcast stuff. I'm like, I love her energy, she's so positive, so energetic, so inspiring, and, I ended up enrolling in her course in the fall of last year, and it has changed my life because I can do the things now. I can do the technical things now, even though I'm still, like, learning a lot of it, um, and I'm still, like, very beginner, but I'm having fun with it, and I'm actually able to make music that I want, so
And so let's talk about that a little bit. You got some of your own equipment that you have,
yes.
and we'll show a picture of it all right here.
Yes. So that picture was taken on, February 16th of 2022. It was my first attempt at recording something by myself, very as you explained it before we started recording, DIY.
Mhm.
And, it was just with that microphone, that, Taylor Swift Taylor guitar, and because, of course,
Yeah, right.
it had to be Taylor Swift,
It had to be.
and, a little preamp that was plugged into my, my Mac, and, I just recorded a cover of a Taylor Swift song just to see, can I actually do this? And, um, it was during Dan, my boyfriend's shoulder surgery, so he was, like, in the other room, like, knocked out on painkillers, and I was there just, like, fiddling around with things trying to make this song sound good, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can actually do this." So, after that, I didn't stop. It was kinda like when I first started writing, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this feels good. I can get this out of me now." Um, that's where it was kind of like, "Okay, if I can do this with a cover song, I can do this with my music now." And with that guitar and that microphone, for most of it, that guitar specifically, I recorded that's the guitar that you'll hear on all of the tracks, um, for the EP, and then the microphone I used for most of the EP. There was one song that I re-recorded, um, and that was with the new microphone that I have, but other than that, it was just, like, all that little DIY setup.
So what was the planning for Lilac,
What was the planning for
if
it?
there was any at all?
Yeah, I
'Cause that's
mean,
another question. Did you plan this EP, or was it just, like, a collection of songs that you have?
so my brain is very chaotic. I think that if somebody were to try and live in there, they would be terrified because they'd see a whole bunch of purple and a whole bunch of unicorns and a whole bunch of thoughts flying so fast that they can't really stop to understand them. Sometimes it's hard for me, but, um, I think there was some sort of a plan to it because Lilac was a song that I wrote, back in April of '21, and I released it. It's available on streaming platforms if anybody wants to listen to it, but it was kind of just talking about, what I had been through with my producers in the sense of feeling controlled and trapped and saying how I did everything to please them, and I'm to the point now where I just wanna bloom. I just wanna grow, and, that was the whole concept of this album was, the strength that is needed to bloom on your own and, um, become something greater than what you've been before. So I think I took a small collection of songs based off of that theme
Mm.
and was like, "Okay, this fits the theme, this doesn't. This fits the theme, this doesn't." And I was like, "Alright, let's prove to ourselves," the voices in my head, that, we can do this. And I ended up when I recorded this EP, um, this was after that picture that I showed you, of course. I was down in Fort Myers, Florida with my parents because they have a beach house down there. So I recorded this whole EP in the beach house, and that beach house has since been destroyed by Hurricane Ian.
Mhm.
And my parents are down there currently fixing it up, putting it back together, and I'm just like, how perfect is this symbolically that the place where this EP was recorded was torn apart and it's being put back together and it's gonna be beautiful, but it will never be the same again. That's exactly what I was trying to convey with this EP is that I have gone through a lot. I have been torn apart and put back together again. I'll never be the same as I once was, but I'm gonna be even better.
Mhm.
And I thought that that was so cool that that symbolism is there. So,
So tell me a little bit about "Okay." That's the first song we're gonna play from that EP.
"Okay," is a song that I wrote for, my boyfriend before we started dating. He had, been through a tough relationship, where the person that he was interested in had told him that, she was probably never going to love him. And I just was like, you know, I know how that feels. I've been there before. And I want you to remember that even though it's tough right now, the sun's still going to set and rise again each day. And it's going to remind you that everything will be okay.
What a harsh song, harsh way to say it. I'm never gonna love you, sorry, man.
Right? Well, I don't know if it was said that way, but that's kind of like just summing it all up. But yeah.
Well, this is "Okay" by Amber Nadine.
Hey there, honey, I know things seem a little dark now. The sun is shining, but it's hidden by the clouds. Your chest has a bullet wound, 'cause she shot you, now you don't know what to do. What should you do? Just close your eyes. Know that it'll be alright in time. But don't worry, your pretty little mind. The moon's still close and the stars still shine. The sun still shines and rises again each day to remind you that one day it'll be okay. Yeah, it'll be okay. Hey there, honey, I know you can't hear the good now. It's okay, I've been there too before. The waves keep crashing down, nobody wants to stick around, and you're left alone on the shore. Remember that little creek, all the joy it brought and so much peace. But don't worry, your pretty little mind. Oh, the water still flows, it never runs dry. Oh, the sun still shines, it rises again each day to remind you that one day it'll be okay. Yeah, it'll be okay. I don't always know the right words to say, but I'll sit here and listen each and every day until all the pieces of the puzzle fit. And if you ever have any doubts, just tell me and we'll sort them out. I'll help you through this some way, somehow. Just like you helped me. You are my angel with golden wings. So don't worry, your pretty little mind. Oh, the moon still glows and the stars still shine. The sun still sets and rises again each day to remind you that one day it'll be okay. That one day it's all gonna
And that was Okay by Amber Nadine. So one of the questions we have from somebody watching, this is from the All or Nothing, the Frank Sinatra tribute show. It's a great show, by the way. You should check that out. Are you looping your own voice there, or is that just overdubs you're doing, or is that you have a backup singer there?
So, that was me. It was all me. On the, like, background parts, I kinda just recorded myself singing little things that I wanted in there, so, like, the whispers were me.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I panned that on and I was like, I just wanted to whisper, "I love you," but, because I do. But no, with the that's me. So it's all me. I didn't really loop anything. I just kind of chorused a few things probably at some point.
Yeah.
So
And so, was that using just sampling, like, MIDI stuff on everything else, or were you actually playing, like, the bongos and
oh no. Oh no, no, no. I don't know how to the only instruments that I know how to play are piano, guitar, and ukulele. Um the drums were all MIDI. So
what DAW do you use?
Logic.
Logic. Love
Yes.
Logic.
I love it too. It speaks to my creative brain because I have very, very little technical brain.
Mm.
I have a lot of creative brain, and I like the fact that you can, like, make your tracks different colors because that helps me, like, especially with purple. I like purple in case you couldn't tell, like, with the lilac and everything, but, um, no, it helps me be able to continue to be creative and things like that,
That's
so
good, and, speaking about that, this whole project for you was a learning experience in of itself. Tell
yes.
me about it.
Yeah, so, I f when my family and we decided last year to, travel a lot in the beginning of 2022, and, w we went up to our camp in upstate New York, for the first half of 2022, like, for the first month and a half, I'd say, and, me and my dad started, like, watching YouTube videos and tutorials about, like, music production because he has a background in radio. He used to, be the chief engineer of audio for WKBO in Harrisburg, if I remember
Mm.
correctly. Yeah. So, he knows a lot of, like, the technical side of things, and I was like, "Will you just help me with this because I feel so lost?" So, we sat down and we started watching a couple of those videos, um, and I was just kinda, like, trying to learn some stuff, and that was when we came across Chris Bradley, and then when I went home to be with him for his shoulder surgery, sorry, my boyfriend, for those of you that can't see me pointing in a direction that you can't really tell where he's sitting, but, um, yeah, when I, went home to be with him for his shoulder surgery, that was when I first attempted recording the cover song that I told you earlier, and then it just kind of from there was when I started doing more of like okay, let's listen to a podcast from Chris Bradley and try and implement what she said into the next track that we record or like, figure out how to do this today or yeah, it was just a fun process that I then continued down in Fort Myers, Beach, Florida, where, I recorded most pretty much everything. The only thing that I had to do was I had to re-record the vocals for "I Am Me," right before I mastered the EP because, I just sounded a little stuffy. I was like, "I don't like that sound. I wanna re-record that and make it sound better." So, but yeah, no, it was so fun getting to jump in and just kinda be like, "Okay, what am I gonna learn today?" And it was an experience because I don't typically think technically. I think creatively. So it was a huge shift for me.
Well, that especially because you think creatively and that you want all of these sounds, but then your technical brain is like, okay, how?
Mhm. Yeah. No, totally, because, a little bit more background on me and my music. I don't know music theory.
Mm.
So I was just like, "Wait, what does it mean for a song to be in a key? What does it mean for beats per minute?" You know?
Those pesky little technique things that are so boring and no one ever needs, right?
That I skipped over because I just wanted to learn a Taylor Swift song.
Right. Those things that will never come back to bite you in the butt, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they do, and it's challenging. So, I mean, I don't know a ton of music theory now.
Mm.
I know enough to help me get by. And, it's interesting when things click the way they do, like, "Oh my gosh, that makes sense now because that's the how you build a chord," you know? Um, so that was a little bit of a challenge at first, trying to figure out what key songs are in, but once I got into the flow of that, it was a lot easier. So, it's still something I struggle with, though.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we have another one of your songs, "Small Body of Water." Tell me a little bit about that.
Ah, okay. So, this song, I struggle a lot with forgiveness,
Mm.
and this song was kind of me being in a situation with someone who I just no matter what I did, I was, like, so angry, and I remember one day I was walking around and I was calling this person a bunch of names in my head, and I was like, "Stop, breathe. This person is not this, they're not this, they're not this," insert, whatever imaginary things you can think of, and I was like, they just did something that, you know, they liked a guy that you liked
Mm.
too. And um it's not their fault. You've been in that situation before. This was a song, typically the songs that I write, um they are they come to me very quickly. I can write them in 15 or 20 minutes. This was like a 6-month process for this song because it was me needing to slowly work on forgiving this person, which I still don't know if I'm there. I still struggle a lot with this situation, but, I have worked through it a lot, at least with this song, and once it gets to the bridge, it's more of me talking to myself more than anything saying, like, you know, "This is where you've been too. You need to have sympathy for this person too." So that's what it's about.
This is "Small Body of Water" by Amber Nadine.
I tried to give you angel wings, invited you to come and sing, but you went far beyond the path, took what you couldn't have, just like Lucifer did. And he didn't win, but you don't see it like that, and I think it's so sad. I used to pray for you, and I'm trying to again, 'cause you're not a crook, not Captain Hook. You only took more than a look at my fairy tale storybook and rewrote more than a page. You tried to change the villain's fate, and just like that, my world was shook. But you're not a crook, no, you're just broke. I know you were at the cantina last night. Just 2 streets over, I was having drinks with your guy. It should have been you, I know. But would you have made a move if I hadn't stole the show? 'Cause you had time to kill, but you just sat still. I know it's not a crime, but I'm the one stuck with the fine kind. You're not a crook, not Captain Hook. You only took more than a look at my fairy tale storybook and rewrote more than a page. You tried to change the villain's fate, and just like that, my world was shook. But you're not a crook, no. You're just broken down in a grocery store, trying to figure out what more you could have done. You could have done. And all the memories of the years gone past, they play on repeat, and you can't get past the fact that what's done is done. That's why you don't delete the pictures, you save them for another scripture. I know it 'cause I've been there too. I'm sorry for all I put you through, but don't worry girl, your heart won't mend. The light of day will shine again. The monsters won't always be inside of your head, 'cause you're not a crook. No, you're not a crook. No, you're not a crook, not Captain Hook. You only took more than a look at my fairy tale storybook. You wanted to rewrite the end and have him be your prince again, and I can't blame you for holding his hand, 'cause you're not a crook. No, you're not a crook. No, you're just broke.
And that was Small Body of Water by Amber Nadine. So we're on that track of forgiveness, and it's kind of evolving into like a Christian kind of vibe here.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that, and our next song actually dives a little bit more into that a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. So I mean, I am very Christian. Well, I shouldn't say very Christian. I love God.
Unapologetically Christian.
I love God. I believe in Jesus, and I have my own very different views on things when it comes to all of that. But I absolutely know that there is absolutely no way that I would be where I am today without him. And in the next song, it talks a little bit more about me wanting to be all that God has made me to be,
Mm.
and not allow myself to be limited by anybody's, you know, way of thinking. And this song was kind of written about after I had gone through like a couple of things with different music industry people and producers just kind of telling me, you have to pick a genre and stick to a genre. Well, I write pop and country and sometimes rock, and I really kind of just want to share that with the world. And I'm like, why do I have to pick a genre and stick to a genre? That's not me. Like, I wanna be everything that God has made me to be, and I don't wanna limit any of my capabilities. So, that's kind of what that song is talking about. But these songs that you guys are hearing today,
Right.
they're all this is all
Debut.
yeah, this is their debut. Like, nobody has heard them, um, publicly, um, at all. So congratulations on being one of the first people to hear it. Like,
Woo.
I hope you're liking it. Um, so yeah.
So we're gonna listen to "I Am Me," and then we'll get to talking about where you can actually hear the rest of the EP because you have a release party coming up.
I do. Sh
But first, we're gonna listen to
Okay.
"I Am Me." Is there anything else you want to say about the song before we play it?
Um, just don't let anyone stop you from being who you are, and always chase your dreams.
This is "I Am Me" by Amber Nadine.
I'm a little bit of Christian on a Sunday drive. I'm a little bit of country on an afternoon hike. I'm a little bit of pop when Taylor Swift comes on. And I don't see how that's so wrong. I am me, 17, driving all my family crazy, writing songs, breaking hearts, falling apart, then having to press restart. Yeah, life ain't always so easy, but I am me. A little bit of punk rock when I get mad. Little bit of Billy when I'm sad. I'm a little bit of Carrie Underwood, wanna slash his tires, but I'm too good for that. And some days I feel fat. I know, crazy, right? But I am me, 23, playing guitar anywhere they'll let me, writing songs after dark, and sometimes all night long. Yeah, life ain't always as sad as it seems, 'cause I am me. Ooh, yeah, I am me. Promise me one thing, if anyone ever tells you to limit your capabilities, pray that God won't let you. I am me, 25, young but so alive. I put my heart in my songs, and those that listen love every part, and that's all that matters to me. Yeah, Christian, pop, rock, and even country. I won't limit what God made me to be, because I am me.
I'm a Jesus-loving, purple-wearing, Liz McGuire hairstyling kind of girl. I am me.
And that was "I Am Me" by Amber and Nadine. Sorry, that last bit really reminded me. I'm a one-eyed flying purple people eater.
Oh, I love that. I am a purple people eater. It's fine. But no, my voices come out to play a lot in my music, a lot. So, eh, I enjoy that. And it, like my first album, New Beginnings, there was a song called Sunshine where I kind of like just had a whole dialogue of myself talking to myself in it. And, it was kinda like me saying, I don't know, "Should I go up to this guy? Should I go talk to him?" And I mean, "Yeah, girl, you're fine. Just chill, like, go talk to him." So, I felt like it was kind of important for me to, implement that into the "I Am Me" song because that is totally me, just, like, talking to myself and letting my voices come out to play.
So, where can people find this EP? You guys are you having a release party. Where is that happening? And
I am having a release party on April 22nd at Gift Horse Brewing Company in York, from 8 to 10 PM. I would love to see you guys there. We're gonna have wristbands, we're gonna have like actual CDs for sale. I know not a lot of people listen to them anymore, but I am a huge CD collector, and I was like, I really wanted to get hard copies. So definitely come on out and celebrate with us. I'll be talking all about the EP and playing the songs live and playing a bunch of fun cover songs for people to sing along and dance to. And um, yeah, it's going to be a good time.
it's interesting that you have wristbands
Yeah.
instead of stickers.
Everybody's like saying that to me. Like Tommy B, he was like,
We had a whole
Amber, why don't
conversation
you
about
have
it,
stickers? And it's just, I don't know. I'm like, I'm on a budget. I found wristbands at a good price. And I like wristbands. I've always wanted to do wristbands. And he sent me a link for stickers where I could get them at like a very cheap price. And I was like, awesome. So I don't know if I'm gonna do that for this round, but maybe for the next album, which will be very hopefully soon. Not gonna say anything about that, but
I was just about to say. So, tell me more about that.
yeah, I really don't have anything set in stone yet, so I don't wanna get anybody hyped up before it happens, but I promise you that the music is gonna continue to flow and that, you're not gonna hear the end of my music anytime soon. So,
And what are some techniques that you're working on learning for this for maybe that?
I'm working on learning how to make the quality even better, like, make sure because I feel like when you listen to this EP, you can hear the quality slowly progress. I may have mentioned that already, I can't remember. Um, and by the time you get to I Am Me, I feel like it sounds pretty good, but I still feel like I could get even better. So, I wanna work on that, and I wanna work on actually having more of a well thought out plan before I sit down to record things, because right now it's kinda just sporadic, like Hammy the squirrel from Over the Hedge, kinda, like, all over the place, like, "Oh my gosh, okay, let's do this. Oh, wait, no, we gotta do this first. Oh, we gotta do this first." So, I would really like to work on being a little bit more organized and my workflow a little bit better. So
Yeah. So, where can people find you at next?
So on Friday, I'm gonna be hanging out at 551 West, from 9 PM to midnight. So if you guys wanna come check that out, that'll be a lot of fun.
That's here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Right downtown. It's a great spot. You should get, and they have great food too.
Yes. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. They have a really good, purple drink. I forget the name of it, but I
Of
like
course, you know about that.
I know everything purple I know about. But yeah, so and then if you wanna, like, hear the EP, it will be distributed digitally everywhere, of course. So you'll be able to listen to that after April 22nd. If you're interested in having early access to it, feel free to reach out to me on any of my social media pages, and we can talk about that. My social media on Instagram and Facebook is at AmberNadine1, and you can also check out my website at ambernadine.com. I'd love to stay in touch with you, meet you, see you at a show sometime. Yeah, it just come hang out.
Awesome. So we're gonna go into a well. You also, I want to also plug this before we do our next show. Home is where the art is. Where is that going to be happening?
Yes. So, Home is Where the Art is a songwriters round that me and my boyfriend Dan Griffin started. And we wanted to kind of just start it to showcase local artists and their original music. That will be happening at Gift Horse Brewing Company on April 20th from 6 to 8 p.m. We do it every third Thursday of the month. We do still have an opening for April 20th. So if any musicians are listening and would like to be a part of that, feel free to reach out to us. but we will be back here chatting with you on Saturday about a lot more of that.
Yeah.
So we're excited.
So now I want to go into a time where I like to ask all my guests these questions. And the first one is, what is something that you wish you had known before you started?
Oh, that's a long list. I wish I had known. Honestly, before I started, I wish I had known that I could do this.
Mm.
I wish I could, I see people like, Addie Grace, she inspires me so much, and, my guitar student, she's 14, and she's like, we're getting her ready to start doing some live shows too.
It's incredible the youth industry that there is here. Addie Grace, 13-year-old, gigging 52 gigs in a year. That's a gigging every week.
That's insane.
Yeah, insane for
That's
kids.
absolutely insane. It's wonderful.
Wonderful. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely great.
But, I'm looking at them like, "Okay, I wish I'd have known that at their age." They have such a great head start. Like, they're gonna be able by the time they get to my age, they're
They have
gonna
such
be,
a good
like,
following.
amazing.
Yeah.
So, I wish I had known that I could do this before I knew that I could do this. And, I wish I had also known that, not to listen to people who act like they're big shots in the
Mm.
industry, because there's a lot of that I have run into where it's just been like, "You have to do it this way, you have to do it this way." I was like, "Okay, okay, okay," and then I found out that I was, like, killing myself and killing my spirit, and I was, like, molding it to what they wanted it to be. Like, that's the in the song Lilac, I say, "I threw my walls up and painted them blue just for you because that's how you liked it." Like, that's exactly what I did, and I wasn't doing what I wanted to do anymore in my music, and it was draining me and destroying me. So, that's something that I totally wish I'd have known, was to not do everything they said.
So, what is have you been live performing a while?
Yeah, I've been doing it for 7 years now.
What is one of the funniest or worst things that ever happened to you on stage?
Ooh. I wouldn't even say that it was that terrible, but I guess it was embarrassing because it was my first time in Nashville,
Mm.
and, I was at the Bluebird Cafe, and I had done the whole, call a million times and get on their open mic list for the Monday night and get in there to play one song.
Right.
Yeah, and, so nerve-wracking. So fun, but so nerve-wracking. I, got up there and the microphone stand just gradually started dropping as I was playing and singing, and I'm like, "No, this can't be happening to me." And there was this sweet guy, I don't even remember his name, I feel horrible, but there was this sweet guy that had performed before me that literally jumped over people to grab the microphone stand and just hold it while I kept playing, and he was, like, in this very uncomfortable position while I kept playing. So, yeah, I'd say that was probably the most embarrassing moment for me. That, and then there have been, like, a couple of times where I've burped while singing into the microphone.
It's always fun.
No, no, it's not. It's very, like, just, "Oh my gosh, I hope nobody was listening." Like, and you're right there and you're like, "Well, of course people were listening because you're amplified. You've got your microphone," and so, yeah.
So, what is one of the most so you've done country, you've done rock, you've done pop. What is one thing that you haven't done yet that you want to be able to do as an artist?
Well, I actually haven't done rock.
Oh,
I've
oh,
written rock. I just
okay.
haven't recorded it. Um, I've got, like, a couple of songs that are kind of punk rock sounding. Um What is something that I would like to do genre-wise or
Genre,
just
artist wise, musician wise, anything.
I don't know. Well, the first thing that comes to mind when you say genre-wise is I would like to, so my cousin raps.
Okay.
I think it would be really cool to do, like, a Bad Blood kind of where, like, he does rap and I sing in between, or like a Eminem and Rihanna. Gosh, I can't talk today. An Eminem and Rihanna, like, collaboration with him. Um, I think that would be pretty cool. So
Stay tuned for that one. So, Amber, it's been great having you on today. Is there anything else you would like to tell the masses?
Um, I would like to tell you that I hope that I brought some joy to you today, and I hope that, you will always just, no matter what, follow your dreams, do what you love, don't let anybody hold you back, and don't let anybody tell you you can't do it.
And actually, I have one more question because
Okay.
I remember this one. This is what I like to ask all my brothers and sisters in faith. And what is worship to you? Where do you feel most in tune with God?
Music.
Right.
So, I feel most connected to God when I am, you know, singing, because I feel like it's a gift that he has given me that I don't wanna overlook,
Mm.
and that is it. I feel happy, I feel at peace, I feel inspired when I am singing, and, um, we go to, Living Word Community Church in Red Lion, and they have a lovely worship team, and they'll sing, like, 3 songs before the service and 3 songs after the service, and you can see me just, like, standing there in the 2nd row, singing, eyes closed, just enjoying it because, yeah, I love the services. I love hearing what the pastor talks about. I love, even, like, I'll listen to Joel Osteen sometimes. I listen to Oprah. I listen to, like, who's the author of The Shack? Paul Young, William Paul Young. See, I listen to a lot of different people that have different views on faith and God, and, I enjoy hearing their thought process as well, and that really opens my mind to feeling closer to him too, but ultimately, it's always been music, so
Well, you can find Amber at ambernadine.com and all your social media is at ambernadine1.
Um, Facebook and Instagram. I don't know what my TikTok is. I don't use it that often, but yeah, if you just, find me on Facebook and Instagram, I'll definitely be in touch. So,
And be sure to go out to our show at Friday at was it 9 p.m. at 551 West here in Lancaster.
yes.
And we will see you again Saturday for Home is Where the Art Is and talking about all of that and the great work you guys are doing there. My name is Corey Rosen. This has been the Story Podcast. You can find me and all of my projects at CoreyRosenProductions.com. That's CORYROSEN Productions.com. And we're getting ready to do some really cool stuff here on the podcast, including our songwriter studio, the launch of our own little music creation process here where we're going to grab 3 or 4 other musicians in the area. We're going to stick them here in the studio and we're going to write a song in an hour all live, so you guys get to see the start and finish of a project, and I'm really excited for that. Our first one is coming up May 1st, so stay tuned for that. If you want to sign up or be a part of that or just see who artists are involved, you can go over to CoreyRosenProductions.com/the singer-songwriter studio, and you can find all that information there. And we're also ramping up our single and album reviews again. So what that is you can submit a single or your album/EP to us, and we will grab another artist from the area to sit down and constructively criticize your album, single, and give you guys some feedback on it. Because I know feedback is hard to come by these days.
It is, and that's so exciting, and, when it comes to feedback too, the nice thing about it is, like, you want, like, friendly feedback. That's what I
Yes.
want, at least.
Yeah.
Because, like, I know that there's a lot of people out there that are so quick to say, "Well, that doesn't sound good, and that doesn't sound good." It's like friendly feedback, like, maybe try changing it up a little bit this way," you know?
Yep, that's the goal that
So,
we're doing.
that's so exciting.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, we're just art because here all about artists helping each other. Because granted, there are the people here that know what they're doing, and
Mhm.
that's totally great. But we're here for the small artists that don't exactly know what they're doing, trying to find their sound still. Are doing it DIY and don't maybe know about like reverb or some of the smaller techniques that you can do that like mixing and mastering wise and EQ wise. So that's what we're really aspiring to help and grow each other in. And so if you want to be a part of that, you can go ahead and submit your singles and albums over on that website too. It's all there. With all that said, we're gonna be having on a few cool guests this week. Tomorrow we have Cody Smith, who is a choreographer, director, and performer. He's been all over Broadway as a performer there, and he choreographs here at LBC sometimes, and is an all around really cool dude. This Saturday is Home is Where the Art Is, and we get to have you guys back again and talk about all of that process, what it's like to pull together people, and what maybe sometimes a nightmare that could be.
Yeah, nightmare. No, it's so fun.
Yeah, it's always fun getting musicians together, and you guys have a spot open, so be sure to contact them if you want to be a part of that. It's going to be a great night, April
20th.
20th.
Yep.
That's when that is happening. And then this next Sunday is Grant and Brian. He's a local country artist, so we get to hear more about that. That's all of that stuff over the weekend will be at 2 p.m. And then next Monday we have Jess Smucker, who is she's gonna be a part of that Home is Where the Artist, that one, right? Or am I
No.
just not thinking right?
No.
Well, never mind. She should be a part of it. She's cool.
Okay.
Tell
Tell her to reach out to us, yeah.
She's a really cool singer-songwriter in the area. She just did a songwriting round at Zotropolis. That's maybe where I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
And she does this monthly singer-songwriter writing rounds at Zotropolis as well. So I'm excited to have her on and talk about her music. And with all that said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you guys later.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.